And it's not like the need for power is going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, I was going to say,
right?
like, a lot of times, like, you know, people say don't go into like a mining town if that's the only industry. But with power, it's like, at what point, with all the electric cars, at what point are we not going to need more power versus less?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you see, if you go, like, there's a huge investment going in from the government, a lot of jobs going out there. And if your vision is 5-10 years on a project like this, that project is in development as we speak, being built out. Like, this isn't, the metrics and data are not changing. Like you said, it's not a mining town where that might just flip on a dime. Like, it's already happening there.
Welcome back to REI Hot Seat. Andrew Hines with David Hulshof and Jacob Campagnaro. We are doing a building.
Another building.
We got a building. Can you tell us about this building, high level, Dave?
Well, wouldn't you know it? It's near Bruce Power, because I love that area. 12 townhomes. 10 of the 12 are renovated. It has actually got submitted through energy efficiency through MLI Select, 100 points. So full upgrades are done, windows, doors, heat pumps, all that. And
so it's been submitted. So that means you have the certificate of insurance?
We got it last week.
Okay, so that means any buyer could just come in and go straight to MLI, basically.
Exactly. So the model here, without getting too nerdy and in the weeds, you'd be assuming the mortgage. The existing owners are going to stay on to guarantee the mortgage, at least for a year. The reason for that is there's usually a delay in time while you're getting the old people off and the new ones on.
Onto the mortgage.
Onto the mortgage. So people believe in this project obviously enough that they're going to stay on to guarantee it, at least for a certain period of time.
Okay.
And the last confusing piece, they have the certificate of insurance, but they haven't hit go on the funding yet.
Yeah, so like what's the financing now? It's not MLI Select CMHC, right?
No, it's with a credit union right now, and that's going to be obviously paid out before close, but they're just waiting. They're actually timing kind of bond yields to see what happens. So they were going to actually fund it last week, and then things went a little crazy, so they're just waiting.
Okay, so they'll bring the CMHC mortgage in. Is that through the credit union?
Nope.
No, the credit union won't be involved?
Nope.
Okay.
No, different lender.
Different lender, okay.
So the ceiling rate on it, the max rate it's going to be is 4.39%, but we suspect it'll be lower, but I've done all the numbers at 4.39.
Okay, so you're going to lock that mortgage in and then basically have the opportunity to sell it. And will it be locked in on like a 5-year or a 10-year?
Great question. I'm not sure.
Not sure. Hasn't been decided yet?
No, I think it's a 10-year because it's a 1.2 debt cover. Yeah, of 1.1.
Can you bring that to a 5?
You can, but your debt cover requirement, you have to put more cash down.
It's 1.3, right, when you're doing a 5-year?
Well, it's 100 points through MLI, so it's 1.1 on a 10-year right now. So I think it would be a 1.2 on a 5-year.
Okay.
It could be wrong. In any event, the big selling feature on this is 10 of the 12 are renovated.
Yeah.
So there's still some lift, but because of the energy efficiency 100 points, you can get into the deal for $430,000 all in.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is
$430 all in. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's including reports, fees.
Everything. Yeah, all reports are done. So call it $450. This is you taking on, assuming the mortgage, down payment, all those beautiful things.
Right.
Yeah.
So you go refi your duplex, pull out some cash.
12 townhomes.
Yeah.
Then you buy 12 townhomes.
Yeah.
Could have 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
With lift.
So and these are ready to go turnkey.
Yeah. So 10 of the 12 are fully renovated. There's 2 legacy tenants there still.
Yeah.
And then those units would need some upgrades.
And I'm curious, I don't know if you have these numbers on you, Dave, but when we look at these turnkey products, a lot of the investors from the show and from our databases always ask about cash on cash return.
That is the question on that 400 some odd thousand.
Long play, right? Well, because now you have to look at it as almost like it's still a building, but you're looking at it as it's more of a cash investment. You're saying, hey, I'm going to give you $450. How much is this building going to yield me year over year?
Yep.
And how many years does it take for me to hit my repayment?
It's a great question.
Right?
Yeah. Do you have your cash on cash calculated?
It's right here. Can you see that?
I can. Yeah.
Moving
so
around.
yeah,
so right 5.38 or 83. Excuse me. I'm dyslexic. Yeah.
And that's in year one.
Year one.
So then every year, I'm assuming you do your 2.5 increase. You're going to have better cash on cash. Your pay down. You have
and there's 2 other units again that. Substantial lift in those. We're just, not modeling it out.
Yeah.
So this is at 4.39 again. So the rate may be a bit lower, but I think that's the right place to use. So 6%.
Yeah, so you might be able to do even better than that. I did just want to take a quick step back for anybody who's like new to the CMHC concept. So CMHC is a Canadian corporation, a government corporation that insures mortgages for lenders. So you can get a loan with TD and CMHC can insure it. That's the popular way that real estate investors for commercial multifamily are buying multifamily now, because they can get loan to values that are higher. If CMHC is protecting the lender feels more confident. They're going to give you better rates. They're going to give you higher loan to values because they know if anything happens, CMHC is going to pay them. So that's why people do it. There's obviously a fee. You got to pay to get that certificate of insurance. To close the mortgage, you're going to pay a couple of points, at least 2, 3, 4 points on the mortgage. It's added to the mortgage.
Correct.
But the MLI Select program is an even more advanced program within CMHC that basically allows people to go even further, up to 95%, if they have certain standards for efficiency, for accessibility, and anything else?
Energy efficiency, affordability, and accessibility.
So handicap accessible. Are you affordable in terms of under market rent for Ontario average?
Yeah, depending on the location.
Yeah, so if you're in certain areas, it's easy to achieve that.
Yeah.
Which I think this one maybe it was.
Affordable? No, we did all 100 points energy efficient.
100 point. Okay. All right, and that was before the program changed.
Correct.
Before the program changed.
Under the wire. Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw that out there.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
And the reason I gave all that summary is because some people, this might be their first episode they've ever watched, and I don't want you to feel like you can't follow along. So if you find that you're that person, like we talk about this all the time, I try and throw these refreshers in of what it is, but get used to that idea. So much of the value of real estate is driven by how you can finance it. Yeah. So you need to understand how you can finance it.
Yeah, well said. And I think the strategy, the power of it is, you can get into 12 townhomes with lift for $430,000.
And that's based on 5% down?
It ends up being 93.
93. So you're coming in with about 7% down.
And just to touch on your the fee discussion. So this is all in. You're not covering the fee. The fee's already been paid.
Okay.
On this, so
the fee's already been paid on the CMHC.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Or will be by the sellers.
By the
sellers. Yeah.
Okay, so $4 million building, you're going to be in for 400-ish.
$4.5 million, but yeah.
Sorry, 4 million, 4.5.
4 million's 4.2 is the mortgage. Yeah.
Oh, okay, 4.5. All right, my apologies. I was looking at the mortgage amount there.
I thought that was important to clarify, but
you got a 50-year AM on this one, so you're in it for the long run on that type of play. Obviously, the DCR covers. You're going to have some cash flow. What's our cash flow going to be here on an annual?
25.
Yeah, about 25 grand. So about $2,000 a month.
Yep.
And
ways to be more efficient, right? Because we've built in maintenance and labor, we've built in salaries, things like that. So some of these things people want to self-manage, some don't, that type of stuff. But
this was underwritten with CMHC guideline, right?
This we include. So we have property management, we have vacancy. The confusing part on this is people say there's no utilities, but there literally are no utilities in this building. Everything's metered. Water, hydro,
for the tenants.
Yeah. In fact, there's no there's no exterior lighting even by the owners. It's all tenants.
It's all exterior.
Yeah. So that's simplicity. There's
a
lot of simplicity there from an owner standpoint.
And that's why, I love the townhouse product for that exact reason, right? We've sold a fair bit of them, and it's so simple. Right, all you have to do is just manage it. It's like managing a residential house, right? All the utilities are covered. So
all right. So this building's in Walkerton. That's in the Bruce Peninsula area, a little south of that, right?
Yeah, right outside. Yeah, again, 30 minutes outside Bruce Power.
Okay, so why should just a reminder, and even for me, refresher, why should people want to be near Bruce Power? Obviously, it's a staple. Nuclear power isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
I think I've heard rumors that they're going to expand.
They are. So if you Google Bruce Power C, it's the next development they're doing there. So huge development. I think they're adding 42% increase in power. It's funny because out here you're not as familiar with it. You go out there and all those small communities outside of Bruce Power, you drive through them and they're all in their downtown core. There's no boarded up anything. There's businesses booming.
It's really lively.
It's crazy. Yeah. This is a silly analogy here, or not analogy, silly story. But you go to Walkerton and they have these this high-end coffee shop. They've got a cold plunge place there. It's not it's not a desolate little community, right? Yeah. So there's a ton going on in all of those, and they're all little feeder communities to that Bruce Power radius. So I look at it as one big city.
Yeah, it is.
When
It
you
is
go to
that.
30,
Yeah, and everybody knows somebody who works there.
And you know what? There's like the tenant pool, the people that have been put into these 10 of the 12 units, like they're fantastic people. Their incomes are quite high. A lot of them either work for Bruce Power or an offshoot of it. And they're like, they're good jobs. They're really good jobs, really good tenants.
And it's not like the need for power is going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, I was going to say,
right?
like a lot of times,
no.
like people say don't go into like a mining town if that's the only industry. But with power, it's like, at what point, with all the electric cars, at what point are we not going to need more power versus less?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you see, if you go, like, there's a huge investment going in from the government, a lot of jobs going out there. And if your vision is 5-10 years on a project like this, that project is in development as we speak, being built out. Like this isn't, the metrics and data are not changing. Like you said, it's not a mining town where that might just flip on a dime. Like it's already happening there.
Yeah, power is a little different because it's like infrastructure. It's needed.
It's a necessity.
Yeah.
Right? So that's
and there are other industries out there, right? It's not just not just.
Well, there's a
Bruce.
lot of farming up there, obviously.
Yeah, that's big farming area.
Yeah.
But there's a ton of construction jobs. There's like they are lively little communities.
Well,
It's
the
not-
community over, one of them, not directly over, is Hanover, still in that radius. There's a 109 unit development going up in there, right? Like there's some big stuff happening. And, to us, you go drive through Hanover and you go, oh my gosh, I'm building a 10009 unit here from a big developer. But out there to them, that's not
1% of the population.
It's nothing to them.
And then I guess what's the biggest town in that area? Would it be Hanover? Or would it be
Kincardine?
So Owen Sound's what, an hour away?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a little bit further east.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else we should do to put a bow on this one? Any other comments? Look, we've covered what it is. It's townhouses. It's 12 of them, 2 unrenovated, 10 that are renovated, fully ready to go.
Yep.
Qualifies for MLI Select, ready to go. So this is about as turnkey as it gets. Because if I remember correctly, because I know I've asked you about this one before, you said there is a willing manager for this one to take over.
There's 2 really good property managers out there if you needed that. And then the last note I'll say on this, there's so it's sort of 6 townhomes with a big courtyard in the middle. On the side of the last row of townhomes, there's a garage that's the same length and width as the other ones. It's actually poured concrete. It's got power to it. It's just the roof is lower.
Yeah.
We've had prelim discussions with the city that were quite bullish on making that a unit. So that would be equivalent to a $2,000 a month unit. So I don't like building those out into sheets because I find people rely on it too much as a sales position.
And it's hard to forecast that.
Yeah.
Sell people on the fundamentals of the deal, and then that's the sprinkles.
That's
Exactly.
right.
It.
That's the
exactly.
icing.
But it'd
Cherry on
be
top,
a disservice to this deal if I didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
But it is something we're quite confident you
So
could.
potential for more units.
Absolutely.
And we used to ask this when we first started the show, and we got away from it. But I really like the question: is who is the buyer profile for this property? Right? Who's the right buyer for it?
I think that's a good question. I think with the amount of capital needed and the ability to be hands off, I think it opens up to a wide network of people.
I was going to say it's a trick question because it could be for everybody.
It's a lot of people that could do it, right? With the ability to add lift. I mean, look, I'll tell you, it's easier to say who it's not for. If somebody says, look, I need to buy a deal, get all my capital out in 2 years, it's not the deal for you.
This is the boring real estate side of things.
This is the boring real estate.
Yeah,
this is a,
professionals.
I was going to say, I love it for people who have have a good stable job. They're not looking to start another business, right?
Yeah.
We can set them up with management, landscaping, snow removal, leasing agents. Like it's as hands off as you possibly want it to be.
Yeah.
It's minimal cash in. Go pull a HELOC on your house. Go refi. Go whatever, dip into your savings, whatever you have the capital for, but it's very attainable for a lot of people. And if we'd like our clients to go see the product that we sell them. Right. I always say, hey, go grab your wife, go for a drive, grab your husband, go for a drive, whatever. Right. And go check it out. But honestly, I don't even think you really have to go see this one very much. Like it's,
you go check it out, you'd be confident in it, and then you don't really need to go back. And like you said, we've got, of all the different categories, we have people for it, including contractors. So if you do, if one of the tenants, the 2 lower remaining tenants do leave, we've got the contractors that could do it too. So
Yeah, $555 a month. I don't think they're leaving anytime soon.
no. There was conversations with Unit 11 that's 14 and change, so they're open to it.
Yeah.
It would be like a cash for keys discussion.
Yeah.
They're definitely open. This gentleman's elderly, lovely guy. He just said, look, I just don't want to leave. So there was conversations about actually moving him over to, because he's in the garage side. So 6 of the units have garages in them. 6 of them don't. The ones with garages are where you're getting 27, 25, 2,300. So the conversation was maybe moving him over to a renovated unit, increasing his rent a bit. But they just didn't further that discussion. He's quite happy for now where he is. And he does a lot of stuff around the premises. He's a lovely guy. So
Awesome. Okay, well, guys, if you made it this far, make sure you show the channel some love, and also make sure you're on the insiders list. So the link to the insiders list is going to be in the description below the video, or if you're a podcast listener, it's going to be in the show notes, and that just gets you onto the list so that you can receive the deals of the week.
Yep.
Which are these are mostly off-market deals that Jacob, David, and their team have. And then also, if you want to connect with them regarding valuing some of your existing portfolio, if you've got buildings you are thinking now might be the time to sell, join the list, and that kind of starts the process for you.
absolutely. We'll do an intake call and find out how we can help.
Cool. Anything else?
I think we're good.
Summed it
It's
up.
an active deal right now.
Yeah, this is an active deal. So if you're curious about this one, that's a good way to start the process for that one too. And thanks again, guys. We'll see you next week.
Appreciate it.